Yo, what's going on, guys? BOJoeKO here, and we are finally back with our Columbus Blue Jackets GM mode. I know it's been a while. I wanted to take a little bit of a time to break away from my GM modes just to get some rest from commentating on these long ass things. But we're back. Time to get the ball rolling and get on with the rebuild with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That is right. As you guys know, last video we did kind of show you guys the new roster update, but literally a couple days after that there was another roster update. Actually, just happened a couple days ago, so I'll have to show you guys another couple changes that they did for that one. But we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be rebuilding the Columbus Blue Jackets right now. So we're gonna be looking through all the players, see which ones we're going to be able to put up for put on the trading block to make the rebuild. And I also, like I said last time, I said I put out the buyout penalties now, so we are at 1.1 mil for a buyout penalty. And I also, like I said, since there was new rosters, so I had to restart it again. And I also threw in the authentic draft picks this year, so a lot more teams are going to have a lot more draft picks now. Like I said, Buffalo probably has like a shit ton of draft picks from other teams like that. I wanted to make this one as kind of realistic as possible, so and make it a lot more harder for myself. But without further ado, let's go over the team here and see which players we're going to be putting on the trading block. So for centers, nobody really is moving from this position. Like I said, Brian Johansson's going to stay. Artem Anisimov is going to stay. Boone Jenner's staying. Letestu could maybe be one of the only players that goes away, but like I said, you're not going to get much in return for a 79 overall center playmaker at 28 years old. Not going to really get anything back for them, but all these guys definitely going to keep. Like I said, Johansson's the future offensive, possibly first-line center for this team. Who knows? Anisimov might be a solid two-way forward, second or eventually a third-line center, and then Jenner might be that second-line two-way forward that we need as well. So, excuse me. So these guys will definitely be staying on the team for a bit. So we're good for centers. Left wingers. So here's one of the things for the roster update again. They changed Nick Foligno back from Red Stars, so they changed him back to Gold Stars again. So once again, him and Nisimov are kind of the same player again. We'll have to see. Maybe we can get rid of one or the other. Who knows? But for left wingers, Dubes we're gonna keep. Like I said, I like Brandon Dubinsky. Only 2 more years on his deal. Like I said, he's just an all-around defensive beast. He's got an amazing face-off category, so I definitely want to keep Dubinsky. But one of the players who I wouldn't be obviously against, we have 3 left-wing two-way forwards all in here, in Dubinsky, Umberger, Foligno, and Blake Como. Like I said, I lost connection to the servers, but I don't really give a shit about that. But we already have left wing, two-way forward, two-way forward, two-way forward, two-way forward. 4 of them right there. We don't need that many. RJ Umberger is definitely one of the guys who will have to go. Because like I say, he's 84 overall, 31 years old, 4.6 mil for another 4 more years, I think. It's just not going to work out with this contract deal. And like I said, we should trade him now while he still has some value. Get RJ Umberger out of here. Como's decent for the money. Like I said, 81 overall. There's that damn phone again. 81 overall, two-way forward, 27 years old. He's only getting paid $1 million, which isn't bad. Like I said, he's pretty decent defensively, so there's no, like I said, it's nothing against holding on to him. And then Matt Calvert, we're obviously going to keep because he's a sniper prospect. So left wingers were good there. Umberger would be the only guy to go. Nathan Horton, I'm going to keep for right now. Like I said, he might be a player who we trade down the line because he's signed for a long ass time. Maybe when all the young players start to get their big boy contracts, maybe Nathan Horton will finally be that one player to bite the dust. But he's a good defensive player to keep on that first line. Play with Johansson, protect him. He's a power forward. Maybe put in a goal here and there, but he's good. Fratton could be a nice depth forward to have, so we'll keep him. Bowl and Trop, just possible fill-ins right here. Neither of these guys couldn't, maybe not even play. We'll send Trop down to the minors to see if he gets better, but Dana Terrell could possibly come up here instead of Jared Bowl and play some fourth line time. All right, so defensively, see the changes that made on defense. Like I said, they changed Jack Johnson back to, they kept his overall, but they changed him back to Red Star potential. So he's now 4.5 Red Stars, so we don't know if Jack Johnson's going to get anywhere at all. We're gonna keep him obviously still because he's the future defenseman. He's the youngest guy pretty much we got. Nick, one of the youngest, highest overall guys we got. Nick Schultz, we're gonna keep him for right now because he is re-signable next year. We'll see if we can get him for a cheap price. If not, then we might just let him walk. But it's not really all too worried about it. He'll be 32 years old, and I wouldn't be against that. But if he does have a significant trade value, I might want to trade him. But for right now, I will keep him. Wisniewski could be a guy we trade right now because, like I said, 5.5 mil for another like 4 more years as well. He's on the same kind of deal as Umberger. When I try to get rid of him, same thing with Tootin. 82, 83, and 82, both of them about 30 years old. Contracts equaling almost to 10 mil just in both of those guys. It's kind of ridiculous. Want to see if we can get rid of those guys. Nikitin, Nikitin's a good defensive player. Like I said, he's a defensive defenseman. He's got better defensive stats than Tootin does. And Tootin's a two-way forward. He's got 85s everywhere. Tootin's a little bit better shot blocking and stick checking, but uh, Nikitin I think is better offensively than Tootin. So I would rather keep Nikitin over Tootin. And he's once again he's resignable next year as well. We could probably get him for a cheap price. Murray we're keeping. Savard we're keeping, and don't have to worry about Dalton Prout. So Wisniewski's a tradable asset. Tootin's a tradable asset. Nikitin possibly is a tradable asset. Same thing with Schultz. So pretty much all of our defensemen. So Schultz, Wisniewski, Tootin, Nikitin are all tradable assets. Johnson, Murray, Savard, and then Eriksson are all staying here. All right, so goaltenders, we're not going to touch Bobrovsky or McElwain. We don't have to worry about any of those guys. Now, in the system, they changed Jeremy Smith back to Gold Stars again. So he's doesn't have the Red Stars again, but once again, you guys were telling me to hold on to Dansk, but like I said, we already used Dansk in our Dallas GM mode, and I just like to experiment with different players. But like I said, if the value's there, if I can get the value back for Dansk and a really good player in return for him, I'm not going to be against trading him. I will trade him if I need to. Because like I said, since Jeremy Smith got gold stars back again, who knows what kind of player he could turn out to be again. So we'll have to see about that. Because like I said, Bobrovsky's young. He's still 26. He has a good at least 10 years in him to last us the whole GM mode. And unless there's another goaltender that comes up and replaces him. But right now, Bobrovsky's the guy. Defenseman, like I said, Eriksson, he'll be, we can use Eriksson. Hetherington's kind of a tradable asset, but we could sign him if we need to. Right wingers, Bergstrand, yep, Mutre, we can sign. Weinberg, keep. Atkinson, keep. Skilly, keep. Skilly could be a guy who we also put on the NHL team, who knows. He's got some offensive touch to him, but like I said, we're looking for defensive players. Throw him in the minors maybe 1 year, see if he gets better. I don't know if the 3 gold star guys gets better. Reichel we're gonna keep obviously, and Dan Terrell could possibly make his way onto the NHL team because he's got decent defensive category, and he is a pretty decent center. But we could probably use him as a winger. So those are all the guys that we can trade. And let's get right into it. Let's get start trading. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the final game of preseason because a bunch of these teams do not have salary cap room that I've seen from my 1GM mode that I have not been playing. Just do it on my not recording really. Just do it on my spare time. A lot of teams don't really have salary cap room by the beginning of free agencies, the beginning of preseason. So we're going to simulate all the way to the end of preseason first, and then we will make some trades because a lot of teams will have salary cap room to make some trades. So we'll see about see what teams we can do, and I have done my pre-scouting on some teams, so we'll maybe experiment with other teams, see what they got in store for us. So coming to the last game here against preseason against the Capitals, let's go to GM options, let's go to trade players, and let's get right started and look at trade values for each of our players. All right, guys, sorry about that. So we are checking out the trade values on our guys. So Umberger's trade value is pretty decent. Schultz, about the same thing. Who else? Foligno, okay, but I might want to keep him now. Wisniewski, same thing about him. Tootin, very low, but like I said, he's 4.5 for 5 years. That's going to be a tough person to try to trade away. Nikitin's is right there. And I think that's basically it. And I think goaltenders, let's see. Goaltenders, Danskis is pretty good. And then there's our draft picks, as you can see. So we have a first for this year, a second for this year. We have LA second as well, and a third, and a couple other picks down the line. So let's start trading some of these guys away. Let's see if we can get rid of RJ Umberger first, and take a look at teams that have some salary cap room. I was doing my scouting on some of these players. We'll see which teams have some salary cap room. And one of the teams I was looking at was definitely the Ottawa Senators. And actually, the Kyle Turris has gotten a lot better now because of that new roster update. So we might not be able to make a trade with Kyle Turris because he was one of the players I wanted to get, but we might have to make a change now. Okay, so Boston, let's see what they got. Looking for young offensive players. Like I said, no two-way forwards or anything like that. We're looking for playmakers and snipers that can make an immediate impact. Okay, so Riley Smith maybe. Riley Smith is a sniper, 3.5 green star potential. I'm not too keen on that actually. I want to get somebody a little bit better. Who's this Sherlick guy? Don't know who he is. Kuklichev. Nope. Spooner. No, they got a lot of good prospect guys. Okay, so nothing there for Boston. Chicago. Like I said, I was looking up Teuvo Teravainen. Teravainen looks good because he's 75 overall and he's 19 years old already. He's a nice center playmaker, 4 gold star potential for Teravainen. He could possibly be a really good player in a maybe in a year or two, but Chicago just doesn't have salary cap to make it room unless I could take somebody off their team, low trade value like Brian Bickle. Yeah, that still won't even get it through. Will need to be something else like Bowlig as well. You see, that won't even get it through. Bickle and then Bowlig, would that go through? Yeah, it's still not going to go through. All right, so Teravainen, unfortunately, not going to be on there. I would like to make a trade with him, but it's just not going to be there. All right, Montreal. Louis LeBlanc, Brendan Gallagher, Lars Eller. Lars Eller might not be a bad choice to go for. He's got red star potential, though. Yeah, I'm not going to go with Lars Eller for that one. I could go back to Phoenix and go after Mikkel Bodker. Because where is he at? Mikkel Bodker. Where are you at? Mikkel Bodker. They are under salary, though. I'll have to take somebody else back, like Brandon McMillan. Nope, that won't work. Bodker, and then maybe somebody like a lot of trade value, like McMillan. Nope. Somebody have a lot higher than McMillan. Moss, David Moss. No, that won't even go through. That's probably like 2 players on the contract. Like, yeah, that would go through, obviously. Okay, so we'll leave off Bodker for right now. San Jose's got some room. I'm not against draft picks as well. Draft picks ain't terrible. Nieto, Wingles, Tierney, Hamilton. No, nothing on San Jose. St. Louis, Dmitry Yaskin. I wouldn't be against. Ty Ratty. Nothing really too special there. Toronto. Gauthier, JVR, Holland, Johnson. Okay, just looking at players right now. Kuznetsov, this new guy that they just add to him. He's already 80 overall. Evgeny Kuznetsov. I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't be against trying this guy out. He looks like a decent player too, and his trade value is really, really low. 4.5 red star potential for this guy. You know what? I would not be against this guy. He's got really low trade value. Why don't I try it? Maybe I can steal this guy. Let's try to steal him. All right, so let's go for Evgeny Kuznetsov. I don't even know. It's some freaking Russian name that I can't pronounce. But his trade value is really, really dirt cheap. What does his trade value go up to? Whoops, hold on. It's about like midway to the R. Like midway to the R, we could maybe give up an offensive type of player, like maybe even like a draft pick. We could maybe even give up LA's second. No, that's not gonna work. They need a player back. We can maybe give up Hetherington. I think Hetherington has some trade value on him. Hetherington. Okay. Why won't that go through? Hold on. Did they need another player? No. Is Washington? Do we need another player from them? Why would that trade not go through? We would have more than 45 skaters. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we would need to give them back somebody who's actually on our team. Um, like Letestu. Like I could give them Letestu and Hetherington for Evgeny Kuznetsov. Because like I said, this guy's actually a decent player. Is good offensively, really good offensively, good puck moving skills. Not the best defensively, and he's quick. And like I said, we need some offensive players on this team. So Kuznetsov might be a good player to pick up. So let's see if this goes through. Mark Letestu and Dylan Hetherington for Evgeny Kuznetsov on the Washington Capitals. Will this go through? You're quite off and doesn't meet our trade blocks very well. Okay, so he might have low trade value, but I don't think Washington might be able to part with this guy. But I think I can make it go through. All right, so they want Letestu, so we can put that on there. And I would not be against trading Letestu for that guy. They want Derek McKenzie as well. Derek McKenzie's a good center. Could be a good fourth line center. But I'll throw him on there. Derek McKenzie, why not? Just trying to add some players which they want on this team. I'll give them LA's second. And any goalies, any like really like shit goalies that we can give them. We could give them McKinnon. We could give them this Forsberg guy. Okay, would they have too many goalies? McKinnon, no. Would that be way too many players? We could give him Nikitin. I wouldn't be against giving them a Nikitin. Or if they could take, they won't be able to take Tootin, which sucks. But yeah, I think this could go through. Would they be able to take Nikitin? No, they couldn't take Nikitin. And Hetherington. Hetherington's unsigned, so that'll just add some more trade value to it. And get this guy on here as well. All right, so let's just add just a bunch of shit really to pretty much to Washington. Give them Letestu, McKenzie a second, Hetherington, and Kurkrucho for Evgeny Kuznetsov. Will this go through? Yes, it will. I almost feel guilty saying yes. Okay, but still, we gave up a lot there, but we got a really good possible steal of a deal now. Like I said, his trade value is insanely low, but he's got the 4.5 red stars, and he's 80 overall playmaker, Evgeny Kuznetsov. So teach me how to say his name. So that's all I'm saying. Teach me how to say his name. He's got good offensive stats. He could become a pretty good player for us once again. I completely forgot about this guy too. So he's only 21. He's on a 3 years on a two-way deal. It's an absolute steal in my opinion to get Kuznetsov. All right, so now let's get back to the task at hand, and let's try to get RJ Umberger traded.